SkillsFuture Singapore is looking to improve the quality and accessibility of its courses to better support workers. This as it saw 555,000 learners in its programs last year. That's an increase of about 7% from a year ago. Caitlin Ng with this report.
Vinod Kumaran worked in logistics for over a decade, rising from a delivery driver to an operations executive. But he quit his job to spend more time with his son, who was diagnosed with autism.
After he got into Pathlight Primary School, I decided to focus on my career again, and I love to play football. So at that stage, data analytics was increasing in the football space. So that kind of lured me into exploring data science as a whole.
To make the switch, he tapped on his SkillsFuture credits.
I used it to pay for the Junior Data Engineer bootcamp at Temasek Poly. So in that sense, the SkillsFuture credits helped me a lot because I didn't have to come up with cash, and I still have remaining credits available.
Mr. Vinod is one of over 28,000 Singaporeans who have used their SkillsFuture credits to make career shifts. The number of courses also increased by about a third in 2024 to better help mid-career workers pivot. SkillsFuture Singapore says the next stage is to raise the standards of training providers.
We always emphasize keep an eye on improving the quality over time, allowing training providers, allowing courses to innovate, but at the same time, weeding out courses which have become outdated, which are not performing, weeding out training providers who have also become less relevant over time.
Measures to improve quality include regular assessments and stricter criteria for courses to be renewed. But with only slightly over 1 million or 37% of all Singaporeans having used their SkillsFuture credits since 2016, Mr. Tan adds that more effort will be put into encouraging take-up.
We want to make it as easy as possible for people to find the course that they want, and for people who are not very sure to deliver as much information, contextualized, relevant information to him, so that he can make the selection more easily with the relevant information.
Mr. Tan added that SSG will continue working closely with the Manpower Ministry and Workforce Singapore to ensure people continue investing in their career development.
Now, there are over 27,000 courses on the SkillsFuture platform. Here are some of the most popular areas of training. Coming up top are courses in the information and communication space, which saw enrollments almost double last year. Within that area of training, AI, cybersecurity, and digital marketing were the most popular. Looking at the best-rated courses on the MySkillsFuture portal related to food and beverages, aside from the mandatory food safety module, pastry-making classes were also in high demand. And in the transportation and storage segment, classes that prepare for licenses needed to drive private hire vehicles and buses were the highest rated, along with those that provide training for forklift operations. One recruitment agency says these courses reflect a rise in hiring demand from the logistics and food and beverage sectors. Requests went up at least 30% in 2024 compared to the year before. As for training providers, some report a 20% rise in take-up rate for ICT courses. Temasek SkillsFuture Academy adds that it is also seeing increasing demand for courses in gerontology, psychology, and pet care. They say these courses are key in addressing Singapore's needs as the population ages. It's hoped that these will help employees stay relevant in a job market where companies prefer workers who can handle multiple roles.
With this kind of skill sets, it will be quite essential for them to take on new jobs, and they are very transferable skills that will improve their communication and presentation skills, as well as the ability to understand how others would react and think.
There isn't really like a fixed, skill that people should be gunning for, right? But it's more of like, if let's say you can actually have multiple, facets to your employability, right? Then that's the best.
Now, Prime Minister Lawrence Wong cautioned yesterday that slower growth will mean fewer job opportunities and smaller wage increases for workers. With the U.S. sweeping tariffs coming into effect this afternoon, how will schemes like SkillsFuture help Singaporeans secure jobs? For this, we're joined by Associate Professor Terence Ho, Deputy Executive Director of the Institute for Adult Learning. Professor Ho, first of all, what do you think is driving this surge in participation, especially for courses designed with employment objectives in mind?
A major factor would be greater awareness of the need to reskill for employability, particularly with all the buzz around AI and the impact of technology on jobs. Then, of course, there's been a step up in terms of the support provided by the government through the SkillsFuture movement for training. And as we have seen in the clip, there are also more course options available. So I think these factors combine to sort of push more people towards taking up training and courses in the past year.
So we're seeing the greater awareness to reskill and more support from the government. In fact, we're seeing an increase of about 7% in the take-up rate. How significant is this growth in the context of the current economic environment? And are we expecting to see even more demand this year?
Certainly, the current trade war going on with the tariffs adds further impetus for people to want to keep their skills up to date, to reskill in case of job displacement. So I think that this year probably will see continued strong growth in terms of people looking for training. And also because some of the SkillsFuture initiatives, they will also kick in this year. For example, the SkillsFuture Level Up program, training allowances and so on, they'll be enforced this year. I think that would add a further boost to the training numbers.
Meanwhile, PM Wong has cautioned that our economic growth would be severely impacted by the U.S. tariffs. Should the economy see major restructuring, which sectors or jobs will be the hardest hit?
So first of all, I think it would be the trade-exposed sectors, including, of course, shipping and logistics. But if there's a more general slowdown, then we would see like the finance sector, business services, broad-based slowdown may be possible, and some jobs may be lost. Of course, it could cut both ways as well. And some people do see some opportunities that could arise as well. For instance, because of the shifting of supply chains, some manufacturing may also move to Singapore. So I think it's early days. We have to see how the economy responds and how the different sectors are impacted by all this.
Slower growth, Professor Ho, means fewer job opportunities and slower wage increases for workers. How far can initiatives like SkillsFuture mitigate potential job losses during economic shifts, especially since there are also many courses available that are not directly beneficial to workers or the economy?
There would be quite a number of courses. For example, the SkillsFuture Career Transition and the career conversion programs, which would directly help people to reskill for new job opportunities and roles. Other training courses could, for example, enhance workers' productivity by helping them to use technology and AI more effectively. So all this would help with generally employability, career health, and resilience. But there's, of course, nothing is a silver bullet. So when people do face retrenchments and job losses, that is where support through the SkillsFuture Job Seeker support scheme would kick in as well to help them tide over this and bounce back into employment.
We are seeing more participants taking up AI, cybersecurity, and digital marketing related courses. Earlier, you said these are early days, but are existing courses enough for workers and employers to stay ahead of disruptions, or will more expansions be needed?
We will always need more such courses and for the course content to be refreshed, because these are areas of technology that are rapidly changing. And also many of these areas like cybersecurity, AI, they cut across many different sectors in terms of the applicability. So I think we would probably need to see even more courses being launched and more take-up of such courses.
All right, Professor Ho, appreciate your insights. Thank you so much for speaking with us. Associate Professor Terence Ho there, Deputy Executive Director of the Institute for Adult Learning.